Hi guys, what is going on? And welcome back to another episode of Total War Arena. So, we are with Arminius and the Falxmen. So, I've done quite a few Falxmen videos over time, and I've always been using Vercingetorix. In short, let me just hop over to Vercingetorix. I'm not going to equip with the Falxmen, but principle's the same. I'm a really big fan of his abilities. I think Scorched Earth's got to be my favourite, not just because of things like it's great for as a decapping tool, and just to sort of literally be that sort of just that troublesome player who can just sort of run in, throw Scorched Earth. You don't actually have to get involved to the fight, the amount of sort of being a pain to the enemy. And not only that, I like the fact that Scorched Earth can dictate how a fight is going to play out. You can sort of use area denial, funnel enemies into certain positions, throw it at them, get them to move in certain directions, and that's one thing I really like using with Vercingetorix. I quite like Defiance. I don't think it's the greatest ability ever because you don't actually get much of an aggression boost with it. You get a little bit. And the fact that your units stay alive longer is always nice. And Iron Discipline has its moments, doesn't it? But not super useful. But yeah, so I've always been a fan of Vercingetorix in the way it plays out. But quite a few of you have suggested that I should be at least trying Arminius as a Falxmen commander. And I thought, well, finally about time I give it a go. So Obviously, I'm actually currently on the tier 7 Falxers, but Arminius is only a tier 6 commander, so we've dropped back down to the tier 6s just to sort of give these guys a bit of a whirl and see how we get on with them. And yes, yeah, I think we're going to sort of see how we get on with them, really. I've not really actually been trying these very much, so yeah, if we hop into a battle and see how we get on. Obviously, I'm running them with Feast because of the extra weapon damage. I was slightly tempted to run them with Swearers for the movement speed. But then the impact damage isn't really that important when it's a pretty crappy charge anyway, and I think I'd much rather have that. That 9 melee penetration is nice, and the weapon damage as well seemed to make them pretty effective units, so I thought the Feast seemed easily worthwhile, the main thing happening. And I'm running with the sort of the better Falx, in my opinion. Not worth losing 7 damage for a little bit of melee attack, so I'm running with these guys. So yeah, let's get into battle and see how fast these guys are, and see if it's enjoyable and as good as some of you guys seem to think they are. So, we are loading into our battle with our Falxmen. So yeah, I'm kind of excited to play these guys. This is genuinely the first ever time I have played Arminius Falxmen, I don't think I've ever taken them out before. So we'll see how we get on with them. I know a lot of people sort of said in the comments when I've done my other Falxmen videos how much they kind of enjoy Arminius as a Falxmen player. A Falxmen commander, sorry. And I don't know why, I've never tried him. It's never really got round to it. I quite like Vercingetorix. I really like his Scorched Earth to channel combat. I think Defiance is pretty good, so I've never really been tempted to go for Arminius. But I'm kind of curious now to see what this is going to be like from just from a speed point of view. It's certainly going to make these guys pretty fast, I think. I just kind of want to see initially what we're going to get speed-wise. I bet my head's going to be in the way of that stat. Right. Lean to one side, get you a bit more clear. So we're getting about 6 on grass. It's good. I mean, it's not great. I guess if we dash as well. Oh, that's why. Dash is in the wrong place. Then we are going to get a pretty decent speed. Yeah, 6.8. Okay, that's pretty fast, I suppose. We can't complain too much at that. That's some pretty nippy speed. So, let's move up to the edge of this forest, see what we see. I've had to drop down to the tier 6 Falxman because Arminius is only at tier 6 for me. I've not got him super high. There is quite a bit of range I noticed on our team at the start, so I'm a little curious about that. Obviously we don't want to be running into any range with these guys because they have basically no missile block chance at all. They'll get absolutely slaughtered if you're not careful. So it's just going to be a case of sort of looking and picking my targets, really. Those war dogs are obviously look like... oh, equites. Not exactly what I would have picked, but certainly in a forest I will. Oh, hamstring them! Ah! Come on, charge!
Our enemies will suffer.
Okay, let's push in as hard as we can. Now let's get what damage we can on them. Now we've got them in that. Yeah, look at that. 10,000 damage, 11,000 damage. That's what we wanted all along. I don't know why he was paying so little attention. And we've killed Scipio. We might even get to rout that entire unit, which we did. That is what we wanted to achieve. Let's kill those units we've got in amongst us. That shows the devastating power of Falxmen if you get caught on cavalry. If you catch cavalry like that, that was just absolutely perfect. Look at that, over 1,000 damage, and basically those tier 6, those top tier enemy cavalry almost completely destroyed just because they weren't really paying attention. That is absolutely perfect for what we wanted. Okay, so let's see what other opportunities we have got. So the enemy slingers look like they've been completely killed. Got these enemy pikemen here. Pikemen, I don't really like fighting pikemen. They really can be quite finicky to fight against. They can get their pikes down sort of quite easily if you're not careful. Particularly with the Leonidas ones, we've got access to shield bash. Obviously, when they activate shield bash, that temporarily just knocks out the combat modifier. That means they can normally get their pikes down even if they're rear flanked. So yeah, that's not always such a good one. So it's going to be a case of kind of looking what my target opportunities are. One thing I'm considering doing is seeing if I can sneak a unit around sufficiently that he's not going to see me coming from the grass, and I'm going to be able to force a combat with him like this.
Our enemies will suffer.
Well, that went a good start. I'm going to go straight in with Frenzy. Oh, why don't we hamstring him?
No prisoners.
Push right into him, push right into him, push right into him. Where are my other two units? Micro, micro, micro. Okay, let's see if we can get into route. That'll be even better. Okay, don't hit the second. Well, actually, they're into phalanx. Into phalanx. Pull out, pull out, pull out, pull out, pull out. Let's get everyone out. Okay, that actually went pretty well. So I was just trying to make use of the long grass there, so he didn't see me coming, so he didn't have time to form up his phalanx. So we're just striking hard, pulling straight back out again, gaining ourselves a few points, and let's make for the safety of somewhere else. Use our speed to run away. So, where are we going to go next? We don't know what's in here. I would assume those guys are going to turn. Those pikemen. No, they're just going to let it be recharged by the cavalry. I'm being hit by archers now, which is not so good, but thankfully it's only one unit, so it's bearable. We've got friendly infantry coming. Let's see if these archers try and make a run for it, because we'll be able to kill them really easily. They're not, they're just going to stand there. Okay, it means they're going to die. Let's just catch up with some of these pikemen here then. Just pushing amongst them a little bit. See what damage we can get on them. Not a lot, by the looks of things. See if I can catch many of their units before they get into a formation. Looks like most of the units down here are pretty well dead already. See if we can get a bit of damage on these archers. I don't think we're really going to be able to be honest, before it's all over. Yeah, we get a little bit there, look. Just a little bit of them. So let's keep these guys moving. Nothing really going on there. Those guys are pretty well dead. Looks like they've got some more enemy archers still left alive, though. And some enemy cavalry. You think it's reasonable for me to be able to reach the edge of this cavalry in time? These guys are going pretty exceptionally slowly. We're clumping ourselves up nicely, but oh! That was a good hit there by the Gunganier chargers. Let's just wait for them to try and pull out, then we'll go for our hamstring. Try and get our damage in. We're going to go for a frenzy. Let's just get as much damage on these guys as we can. We should be able to cut these guys down really brutally. And look at this, we are. We're just going to get flanking modifiers on them. They got a nice charge on us, but it's going to cost them their lives to do that. Look how brutally our Falxmen can kill them. I am quite enjoying the frenzy on Arminius, just for that sort of burst damage potential. It doesn't increase the actual damage, but the potential damage that it can do is just so great. That does make them pretty enjoyable, it's got to be said. Looks like we're just about to cap out the enemy base and secure victory. 2,500 aggression, not too bad with these guys. Yeah, first impressions, really quite good. I really quite enjoy playing with them. I think we'll probably hop into a second game, see if we can do as well as we did on our first. Ooh, we even got promoted as well. Woohoo. Okay, that's good. I'm pretty impressed with them. So let's hop straight into another game and see if we can repeat our results. So, we are loading into our second battle, unfortunately on exactly the same map as our first battle. No variety there. I think I'm going to take a similar-ish sort of starting position. I noticed we've been flung into slightly harsher matchmaking this time though, so we're up against tier 7s. And there's 3 units of ranged on our team, and artillery, and light artillery. So I think the enemy is probably going to be having quite significant amounts of ranged in this. So we might end up having a bit of a hard time on this one, but we'll see what we can do. If we can catch up with a few of them. First things first, I think I'm just going to push into the forest, see what I see. I didn't really get to make use of infiltration last time. partly because I forgot about it. And partly because there wasn't really that many opportunities that would make much of a difference, I don't think. Maybe a slight movement speed bonus. We'll just turn it on because I'll forget about it otherwise. I find infiltration one of the hardest things to remember to activate for some reason. Okay, so we'll move up into our initial position. And wait here and just see if I see anything really. And particularly if stuff like this cavalry wants to scout for me, then that is absolutely fine. Hound handlers. I'll take that fight. They've probably seen me, look, because I'm pulling back already. Get straight on with our momentum again. I've got these Celeres there, possibly in support. We don't know what else they've got. It looks like they're unleashing against those Greek cavalry. Try and keep our formation as we round this corner. And let's get stuck into the back of some of these hand handlers.
Our enemies will suffer. Our enemies will
So let's do that. And let's bring these guys around. We should be starting to get some reasonable damage. And let's go everyone in with a frenzy. Let's see what damage we can get now. Should be able to cut these guys down pretty quickly, which we are doing. That is absolutely brutal. That is exactly what we want. We have got legionary cavalry potentially coming in. I'm going to save my... This is going to hurt. Oh, yeah, that did hurt quite a bit. I'm going to save my...
no mercy.
Keep that going. Get my... I can't think of the word! Hamstring! For trying to catch these cavalry, you see, because we should be able to get reasonable damage against them now. Come on, let's try and take on these tier 7s. You know, it's going to be tough because of... Oh, God, and we're getting elephants. Okay, no. Nope. No. All the nopes. Let's get ourselves the hell out of here. We've lost that fight. Particularly with the elephants, that's really the final straw. The foot companions as well aren't good, but we need to be getting away from those elephants, trying to put ourselves some distance between us and them. I'm not too worried about the Roman cavalry in a forest like this. I suspect, to be honest, I can almost outrun them with these guys, particularly with momentum activated. Yeah, it's those elephants that are following us which are going to be the really hard thing for us to deal with. I think I'd just much rather get into a different situation. Like, for example, these ranged units need our help now because they're about to get screwed over by a large amount of Roman cavalry. They are having a really hard time because they've been anviled. They're going to get themselves free very shortly. We can go and stop that. Looks like the rest of our barbarian infantry have managed to pull out without too much trouble. And we did cause a lot of damage to those war dogs still. So it's not all bad. Well, let's just try and rout this unit of Romans. Surely we can do that. I mean, he's completely surrounded. The war dog I can't click on, but he's now dead. Okay, well, at least for temporarily our range units are safer, and we're really going to need them to fight these elephants more than anything because, you know, while we get some damage against the elephants because of our high penetration damage, they'll do an awful lot of damage to us in quite a short period of time. So what have we got? It's these full companions are a pain. Although why these slingers are just standing here? I don't know if they're expecting me to engage them. How was that ever going to work for you? That means I've got to fight them now, and I don't really want to because I've got these elephants bearing down on me. Let's go for a hamstring there.
Our enemies will suffer.
So we're now in this sort of situation which was what I was trying to avoid really. Just go for a hamstring to get a bit of damage in. Didn't mean to go for momentum, but let's go for a frenzy. Our allied guys are getting a bit of fire damage in. That's not a bad thing. But look at the amount of damage we are taking from these guys. It's pretty high. Although we're actually getting a fair damage on them, so I can't complain too much, I don't suppose. And what are they doing? They just tried an infantry charge. Now is a moment where I absolutely wish I had a hamstring. And we managed to rout one of them. Try and finish the unit off. We're now being pressured heavily by the enemy elephants. Let's go for a hamstring. Good amount of damage there. I want to try and get this unit completely destroyed if we can. But we seem to be having a bit of a hard time getting any extra damage against it. So let's just fight the units we've got in front of us. We have got this elephant still, which is pretty devastating. Let's try and keep the damage up on these guys. If we can just kill these last couple of units I can pull out. Because I'm not even getting that much fire on these enemy elephants. Okay, let's try and keep the damage up. We've not got our frenzy back yet. We're just relying on the strength of our Falxmen now in this sort of fight at the moment. I think I'm going to call it a that and just get the hell out. Because these elephants are just wrecking me badly. Let's do what we can. It's a really close game, and I also notice we are being capped up by an enemy elephant and nothing is going back. So we have got to get back quickly. If these cavalry are going to come and intercept me, that is game over for us. Let's hang around the corner so at least have a hard time with the charge.
Our enemies will suffer.
Yeah, there's really nothing we can do now in this sort of situation unless we can outcap them. You know, I am now pinned down by elephants and cavalry. The cavalry have actually possibly won them the game by doing that move there. We're now routing as well because of course they've war cried me. Try and drag this unit out if we can. We've got some Arminius swordsmen pulling back. And that spells the end of our game. Well, we got a lot of damage in there. That cavalry did a really good job at the end because they caught me as I was on my way back to base. Obviously, I would have probably made it back to base to stop them their capping abilities. And now our slingers are all exposed on their own because the cavalry has got sort of complete dominance over us. Whether our guys can cap out in time, really. I don't know why he's randomly stamping in the middle of their base. Or whether our Arminius swordsmen can do anything to delay the cap. Which looks like they can. They've done a good job there keeping it pinned down. Because we're now losing the battle in terms of points. It really depends. Has any of the enemy cavalry gone back? Because we're capping out pretty slowly. Doesn't look like any of it has. We might actually end up winning this. Good job, team. Particularly as the battle's starting to tip against us. Those elephants are really hard for us to deal with. Particularly as they had 6 elephants and we did actually have some, but our elephants basically did none of the anti-elephant fighting. And we had no javelins or pikes or anything, so it was all just down to the infantry and the ranged. And it made it difficult. But there we go, it actually worked, and we pulled this battle back from the edge. Excellent. Well, there we go, double victory for a video. That doesn't happen all that often, does it? And pretty reasonable Falxmen games in each one. I must say, I really might consider using Arminius full time now. The speed is really nice. I've got to say that's one of the nicest things. And the frenzy actually works pretty well, particularly when you catch units in sort of the situation where you want, particularly when you get on flanks of them and stuff like that. The frenzy means you start to rack up damage so quickly because of that just vast melee attack increase. It means every hit basically lands, so you suddenly start to do quite a lot of damage pretty quickly. So yeah, I think I might keep going with these Arminius Falxmen. I just need to get Arminius up to tier 7 and then I can get onto some of the current Falxmen that I'm on, and then maybe start to work my way down towards the cleavers. So, thank you for watching, guys. Let me know what you think in the comments down below, sort of as Arminius Falxmen versus Vercingetorix Falxmen. Which one do you prefer? Subscribe to the channel for lots more Total War Arena content, and I shall see you all on the next video.